Hey everyone, this is Mickey with Living with the Lilies again, and I just wanted to give a quick update on how my hard piping actually performed and something I did wrong. For starters, I added this for the backwash and rinse, basically anything to get chucked out of the filter just to get it out of my way. I don't have a soft hose yet, and this is what I had on my truck. So kicked it away from the pool a little bit, not a problem. Works for now. This setup actually works perfectly. There's no leaks. The unions work great. There's plenty of flow, and I actually was able to leave my vacuum adapter on the pump and it flows the same as if it was off. So that's actually great. Now, where I'm having a discrepancy is when I fired up my sand filter for the first time and I used that light Clorox sand. It's 25 pounds equals 50 pounds of sand basically, and I used almost 2 full bags for this QX2100 system. It's supposed to hold 77 pounds of sand, so do the math. I probably have about 40 of that light sand in here. What you don't want to do, because I researched basically everything to set up a pool, and this is one thing I neglected to do any research on, was firing up my sand filter for the first time. Where I messed up, sorry, my air conditioning is very loud in the window over there. I ran it straight to filter as soon as I turned the system on, and I unloaded silt all in my pool. And I don't know if it's correlated or anything, but now I had a slight algae problem right after that happened, the day after. And it was crystal clear for days with just hose water in it. And I loaded up my salt in the pool as it was filling with fresh water. And I have county water, I'm not on a well, so we have really good water here actually. What I ended up having to do, I vacuumed yesterday and today, and I could not get this pool clear. It was hazy, I could barely see the bottom. I ended up having to go to my local hardware store, Lowe's, is what's in my town, and I had to get clear, sink to clear from Clorox. And what I did is, obviously I backwashed my filter first, do a backwash, do a rinse, set it on recirculate instead of filter, like it says on the directions. And I poured it a little bit in the skimmer, and I used about, it says use 8 ounces for every 10,000 gallons. This is basically a 5,000 gallon pool. It's 16 foot by 48 tall, and the water level is probably about 42 inches. So I went a little heavy. I used about 6 ounces. I did about half in the skimmer, and then I put the other half just in the jet stream so it would blow it into the pool. And that was done at around 4:30, and it is about 8:15 right now. And I'm actually able to see the bottom of my pool again already. I can see it even better than I can in the video, but you can see these piles of algae and silt from me being a ding-a-ling and running this thing on filter the first time I fired it up. You do not want to do that. That was just spewing what looked like mud right out of the jet into my pool. So this is basically just my little update of what not to do when you first fire up your sand filter system on a pool, if you're a first-time owner like I am. So hopefully tomorrow morning I'll be able to get in here, vacuum this stuff out. And I shocked this at probably about noon today as well, and I used enough shock for 10,000 gallons. It is the salt water. I have it over here actually. I bought a 6-pack of this salt pool oxidizer, shock oxidizer, and 1 bag per 10,000 gallons of water. I accidentally sliced a bag open when I cut the box, so some spilled out, and I ended up just using the whole rest of the bag for my shock, and that also helped bring my chlorine levels up to where they needed to be. Yes, it's a saltwater pool, but that is a chlorinator. This is still a chlorine pool, so it's a learning experience for me, and for anyone else who's having a learning experience, let it be known. But hopefully tomorrow I'll get out here and vacuum, and maybe I'll have a clear pool to show you guys finally. Have a good night.